What's up, YouTube? Hey, it's Dale, better known as the Slacker or the Supervisor. Finally, after almost 3.5 years, we've decided to finally do a tour video of the Slacker bus. So let's get started, and I'll show you first of all what we did on the outside of this thing. If you look up top here, it looks like there's a full roof deck, but that's actually three 535 watt solar panels up there, giving me a total of 1,605 watts of solar. Then the back 6 to 8 feet is the actual deck. On the outside of the bus, as you can see, it's a 5-window bus. On this side, I deleted one of the windows. On the other side, I deleted 3 of the windows, and I used deletes from schooly.com, as well as the solar panel mounts up top. There's a table out on the outside of the bus with a light for the nighttime, so you can see what you're doing out here. This, you can use it for cooking or whatever you'd like. If you can see on top of the deck, I used 2 of the old seat frames and welded them together and just made benches up there, and they're permanently mounted up there. As you can tell, if Mike pans around a little bit, we're in a little bit of water, so it's going to be hard to get all the way around the bus. If he wants to get a shot of the other side, I'll let him go around and do that. If we want to come on inside, and I'll show you what's going on in here. This bus was kind of inspired by a conversation that me and Mike had at the campfire one night about building a Adirondack inspired bus. All of the wood that you see here on the walls and the floor and this countertop all came from a mill about a mile from here. The cabinets obviously are just standard Lowe's cabinets, but yeah, so all the wood in here is from the area. I actually have artwork on the walls from a friend of ours who actually ran a sugar bush for years, and his father made Adirondack furniture. And there's other art and things along the wall, just the stuff that I've, got over the years. Inside, there's a file cabinet here, which was originally a 4-drawer cabinet. I cut it down to 3, and I use it for clothing and other miscellaneous storage. There's also a couch here that'll seat 3 to 4 adults. I just wanted to take a second and show everybody. I will lift this up. These cushions come off. This just lifts up, and under here I do have a little bit of storage, but this is the diesel heater right here that I was just telling everybody that I installed. It's from a company called HLN. They donated it to the cause, and so far I've only had it a few days, but this thing works great. It's a little more expensive, but it's a much better than your $200 variety that you get off of Amazon. So I highly recommend that. There is a link in the description for anybody that's interested in checking them out. It also gives you a discount, and I think it's the first 20 people that buy a diesel heater gets, I think it's like 30%. But check the link, and if you're interested, check the their website out, because this, like I said, it's quality. Those ones you get on Amazon plastic, this is all aluminum. It's a great thing. I would also point out that this couch will fold out, and I do have some stands that go under this part, and when this is all folded out and the cushions are laid out, it makes it into a bed for a couple of, depending on how friendly you are. One person, I would say. Thin people, maybe 2, who knows. I also have a small refrigerator here that's more than enough, for one person. It's got the fridge and the freezer up top. And then I like to hang my clothes rather than fold them, so I put this, it's just a piece of pipe that extends, and then you can hang stuff up. In the back, I don't know if you can see it, but I actually built a composting toilet It's basically just the, you know, the 5-gallon bucket variety with a urine diverter that I have made out of a funnel, and then it's just in a box there. This is the bed. It's a 48-inch bed. It's not a standard size mattress. It's more of a mobile home or RV mattress. I wasn't going to do this, but I decided to open up the bed so everybody could see what's going on here. There again, this tank in the back, it's 75 gallons. This is the entire solar system. It's all Victron components, and I did speak a minute ago. There are actually, it's 3 200 amp hour batteries, which gives me 600. Also, this, like I said, the propane tank is right here. It's strapped in good and safe. It runs the stove and the Insta hot water heater. And I could put a few things, but I don't really like putting anything else under here simply because I don't need it bumping up against some of the components. Also, the drain for the sink runs down through here, and then there's a, I think it's 20-gallon like gray water tank under the bus, which technically right now you can't see because, once again, if you were paying attention or you got a good shot of it outside, it's pretty muddy under there. I don't like cabinets because it just closes things in, so I made these wooden, you know, they're like shells with lips on them, but you could see, and then you could just store whatever you like up in here. Plenty of room for, you know, whatever. There's propane and butane for the stoves. There's, you know, oil, yada yada, and all this different stuff. On the counter, this is a stove that came out of an old camper that I, you know, was able to obtain. It's a 3-burner propane. It's got the stove and all in it, which everything works. Underneath is where I do have an Insta hot water heater under there. In the ceiling on the inside is a max fan right here. I do not at this present time have AC, but at some point I may put whether I put a window unit in it or come up with different alternative, you know, we'll see. Right now I just use a couple of fans. Let's see, in the countertop, obviously I do have 2 ports for your USB connections. I do have an electrical plug here, and if you can see up here, there's also an additional table that I made. This was commemorative of the first trip the bus ever made. Was back in 2021. We all went to Colorado, me, Mike, his 2 sisters, and another friend, and we were out there for what, a month or so. And that's back, if everybody remembers, when Ivan broke down. This was the savior, because it wasn't even built out at that present time, but it was the one bus that actually made it through the trip, other than Christina's van. In here, like I said, this is just, you know, standard bus seat. I did put a swivel on it so you can turn it around. It doesn't have cruise control. The sad thing or bad thing about this bus is, and I didn't really realize it when I bought it because it was a good deal, is it is a short bus, not only in length but in height as well. So, but I'm not 6 foot, so it doesn't bother me. Unfortunately, that's the other bad thing about this. It only runs about 60 miles an hour. But other than that, I did build a, you know, cup holder for up here so that if I'm driving and want to have a drink. There again, I'm a smoker, so that's where the ashtray is. On the upper part here is just different little memorabilia things that I've gotten over the years. Excuse me, just, you know, stickers and different crafts. I like, if I'm at a festival or something like that and there's little kids running around trying to sell stuff, you know, I try to buy it from them. These weren't actually from a little kid, but I did buy these from a friend. We just talked to our buddy Luke this morning, and 3 years ago, we actually had a little competition. Luke did an FJ Cruiser, and I was doing the Slacker Box tour, and I won the views on that. So I got his dollar right here on, and I leave it in here with. Also up here, because I had a little bit extra space, I built this wall, and right now I use this as my dirty clothes hamper. When it gets full, it's obviously time to do a load of laundry. Also, you might say, well, why do you have so many shoes? And right now it's simply because I'm here for the next 3 months, and you never know. I've already worn my muck boots. You can see, and you saw from the outside, you know, it's a little muddy right now, so those will all come in handy. We do have a couple of upgrades that we still need to do. As I mentioned, we just finished putting in a diesel heater. I've also got a kill switch for the batteries that need to come in. One Bluetooth component to the Victron system will get replaced. That's pretty much the only other. I do want to put one more electrical plug on this side of the bus, because as you can see, there's an extension cord that runs from this plug over to here, so I could plug my computer in. And that's pretty much it. Well, as I said, it's a short bus, it's a short tour. Hope everybody enjoyed it. If you have any comments, leave them below. We'll try to respond to them. If you have any questions, let us know. I'll try to answer those as well. You know, have a great day. As I always like to say in my own videos, have fun, stay safe, and keep your projects rolling. And that's what we're up to.